Hello everyone, Nubkeks here and welcome back to another video on Heroes of the Storm. What we're going to be doing in this video could be quite a long, talky type of video. I want to dive really in depth into the topic of tilt, the topic of getting frustrated with the game, how to overcome that, how to deal with that. I'm going to be breaking it down, really getting into the psychology of it, telling you, number one, what to do when you do get tilted. I'm also going to tell you how to just avoid being tilted at all, but also explaining how that's pretty much impossible for most people. And then, seeing as it is pretty much impossible for most people, how to actually deal with it and minimize and everything like that. I want to give a shout out. In fact, we pop over here to a YouTube page. This is based on a comment a day ago from Alkizo1. So shout out to that guy or girl. I don't know. He says, "Hi Nubkeks," or she says, "Hey Nubkeks. I think a video or two on avoiding being salty would be really helpful. Normally I can laugh off stupid things that happen in matches, but after 3 to 4 bad games, it becomes harder to ignore that teammate who keeps diving far too deep or can't disengage no matter how many chances I give them." And then also, like a little side note here, he says, "Also I found climbing up in MMR to be more grindy than Hero League. I often play with a friend whose MMR is 3k plus, and I feel like our actual skills are on equal terms, being stuck at 2100 for months." Just to address that first, just like the harsh truth is that, like, I would say that realistically speaking, if you said to me, I'm whatever 2,400, they're 2,700, or let's make it more rounder numbers. Let's say like I'm 2,700, they're 3,000 or 3,100, and I feel like our skills are pretty similar. A 3 to 400 and more difference. I could say, realistically speaking, maybe that it is a case that you are. That matchmakers just, had a bit of a bad luck streak, or you've improved, but it hasn't quite registered it yet. That's fair. I would say, though, like, you're talking about a 1,000 MMR difference here. Realistically speaking, it's there for a reason. I would say, most likely it's just that you're feeling you're on equal skills in terms of things like that, but it must be something like, I know there's some sort of skill or some sort of strategy that your friend is doing and that 3k plus players do that you don't even realize it's something you're not doing. It's probably something like that. That there's some optimal way of playing, perhaps in several respects, that you haven't quite worked out. That's what I think on that. But let's get back to the actual purpose right here, which is okay, what you do when it just gets harder and harder to shrug off these stupid things, harder and harder to laugh it off. The short answer I said here, for people who want a short video, is after 3 or 4 bad games, you just need to stop playing. Okay? Just stop playing for the day if you want to avoid tilt. You don't want to deal with that. Just avoid it. Okay? I would say even after 2 games, if you've lost like 2 games in Hero League, just stop playing. Just step away from the computer. I don't know. Lose 2 games. Go off with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or both if you've got one of each. And just, do something different. Go for a walk outside. Go make some food. Have a cup of tea, have a cup of coffee. Go play sport. Do something else. Just go do something different. Yeah, just get away from the computer, probably. And just go stretch out. Do something physical. It's like the thing, you might feel that you really want to play the game today, like right now at that moment. But really, you don't. You're gonna make yourself more frustrated. You're not gonna get past it. The only way to really get past that is to just walk away. Maybe even not play until the next day or the day after, or you just need to take a break. And it's gonna depend on from person to person how long that break needs to be in order to get past that the tilted hump, as it were. But anyway, let's get into this. Let's talk about where tilt comes from and how to avoid tilt entirely. 'Cause some people can. So I would say the most important thing, we pop into the game right here because I want to show you a couple of things. I'll speak them out as well. If you guys want to go like play a game yourselves where you're listening to this, or perhaps you want to sit and listen to me speak for the thing, whatever suits you best, go for it. Okay, so tilting comes from being invested in a particular aspect of the game and that getting frustrated. Okay, being invested in a particular aspect. Let's look. We're right here on the rank screen. Season 2 has just started. The patch has just gone live. Well, I'm just getting onto it this evening after it's gone live on EU. But look at this screen right here. Okay, I want to show you 2 things. Look right here, Hero League. Boom, right there. Shows you 0 wins. Well, in this game, that would be very frustrating, 0 wins. But yeah, just because we've just started here. 1 second. Just doing a bit. 0 wins. Over here, it shows you most played heroes. It shows you how many wins you have on them. There's 2 places on the rank screen where it tells you how many wins you have, how many losses you have, and the percentage. When you are playing in ranked, the thing you are invested in, the thing ranked is all about, Hero League is all about, is winning. It's all about winning. It's twice on the landing page. You know when you're going into the game, everyone cares about wins. The rank you get, the placement you get, is completely predicated on wins. Do you win more than you lose? When you win games, you go up in ranks. That's what you're judged on. People get frustrated when they lose. They start shouting. They get happy when they're winning. That's what ranked is about. That's all it's about. Okay? So it's going to be all about winning. So in comparison, let me give you a couple of different examples. Here's one within Heroes of the Storm. Like if you pop onto the hero collection over here, I don't know, click on something random, Sergeant Hammer. Okay, remember when you first started the game? Oh, do they not have rewards? Remember they used to have rewards for like levels 1 to 4. Oh, they don't have them anymore? Okay, somewhat ruined my example then. But yeah, I mean, when you first start playing the game, like when you first booted up Heroes of the Storm and you sat there and you went onto like your hero selection screen. By the way, I'm going to be streaming Abathur. I'll potentially be streaming that live while this is on, so if you want to come check that out, could be good fun. Yeah, like you had all these heroes, they're all level 1. And it's like this whole new experience of the game. It was like, all right, got to get these heroes up to this particular level. And then again, when you get them to whatever, okay, level 5, I get some gold. Level 6, I get mount variations, hero portraits, skin variations, mount variations, bonus gold, all this stuff, unlocking the master skin. And you're leveling those up really fast. That was something that you could focus on when you first picked up the game. You were also learning the new maps. It's like, okay, well, we've never played this map before. How does this map work? This is really cool. We're up against, I don't know, Chen. What does Chen do? I don't know what Chen does. And it was this whole experience of learning what all these heroes do, learning how to play the heroes, getting all this XP, ranking up your profile as well, which, yeah, like, you know, level 2, 1,000 gold, level 4, 1,000 gold, free rotation slots, exploring the free rotation, the stim packs, everything like this. You're getting all these bonuses at the start. So when you first started playing the game, you probably would have raged a lot less because it wasn't about winning. It was like, I'm playing this cool new game. Check out all these cool heroes I can play. Oh my god, it's like Thrall from Warcraft. We get to play Thrall. That is so cool. I can't wait to play Thrall. And then leveling up those heroes, getting rewards, leveling up your profile, getting rewards. There's something else that was the outcome that you were working towards. And that meant, well, for most people would mean that you would tilt less. I mean, just compare, like, how much do you tilt in Hero League? How much you get frustrated and angry in Hero League compared to how frustrated and angry you got in, like, your first, I don't know, 100 games. So here, your first 100 games of every season in Hero League versus your first 100 games picking up Heroes of the Storm. My bet is that you were much happier in your first 100 games of Heroes of the Storm than your first 100 games of Hero League. Perhaps not happy. It depends on what you define by happy, but you would have raged and been tilted a lot less because there were so many other things that you cared about that weren't dependent on other things. Like, you're leveling up the heroes regardless of win or lose. And sure, you get a bit of bonus XP, but you probably didn't really care. So there's all that fun stuff that you were invested in when you first picked up the game that probably, like, if you look for me here, like in terms of our level here, I mean, there's very few heroes that I'm legitimately leveling up and getting stuff for anymore. And for the most part, you know, I'm playing stuff. It's just purely to win. That's it. So yeah, that's a big deal when you go into ranked. The only thing you really care about going into ranked is, am I going to win? And then that's going to lead to frustration. Why does it lead to frustration especially? Because this is so important as well, guys. You're playing a game with 10 other people, 9 other people, 10 people in total. You're in control of one of them. 4 other people on your team, you've got no control over. Almost, like, you can give them pings and stuff, but realistically, very little control over them. You can give them advice in chat, but do they listen to it or do they not? It's up to them. It's not up to you. Got nothing to do with the other 5 people on the enemy team. For the most part, the outcome of the game is very much out of your hands. So you do get games where you've got people, like he said in that comment, you know, teammates keep diving, or they won't disengage no matter how many chances you give them or what advice you give them. It's going to be out of your control. A lot of this is out of your control. Whether you win or lose in Here's the Storm is for the most part out of your control. Here's how it works. So you have your matchmaking rating. This is hidden, by the way. If you go on to Hotslogs or something, you can find out your matchmaking rating. For example, I think mine at the moment, I don't know, it's probably been squished and stuff, but it's up to like 3.5k MMR. So when I go into a game, the system knows that about a 3.5k player. How it works is, if I play at the standard of 3.5k, presuming everyone in the game plays at their standard, you're going to have a 50% chance of winning. Because it knows I'm a 3.5k player, it tries to create a game that will balance it in such a way that I'll have a 50% win rate. If I play better than that, I'll have a higher win rate. If I play worse than that, I'll have a worse win rate over a course of time. That's how it works. So fundamentally, the system is trying to give you like a 50% win rate all the time. It's the flip of the coin, basically. It's a flip of the coin. It's like if you play at your skill level that the system has given you, that's assigned to you, if you play that consistently, you will over time experience a 50% win rate. It's a flip of the coin every game, whether you win or lose. It doesn't matter how well you play. It just matters if you're playing as well as the system thinks you ought to. And that's how it works. So it's going to be frustrating because you will have games. It's going to depend on how well the other people in the game play, the other 9 people. If your teammates play worse than the enemy team, you're going to lose. If they play better, you're going to win. And it's a flip of the coin as to whether that happens. So it is going to get frustrating. Now, you can't avoid like tilt altogether. And you can probably put the pieces together from what I've said so far. What you need to do is to not care about winning. Okay? To have some other outcome to focus on that is not going to be dependent on how your teammates play or what you're doing. You need to make it fun. You need to invest your expectations in a different aspect of the game in order to avoid this. Let me give you one example. So I watched, let's say Grubby. He's one of the most well-known streamers of Heroes of the Storm, probably the most well-known, and also YouTuber and an analyst as well, commentator, caster. So like I don't actually watch other Heroes of the Storm people very much, but I do study them from time to time. I look at the other big ones and see like, okay, how do they do this, how do they do that. But I did check out Grubby at one stage because I wanted to see how he streams. And one of the things I really liked about his stream that I wanted to learn and incorporate into mine was that he stays for the most part, stays very, very positive during his streams. And he explained why in one of the things, or well, he didn't directly explain why, but it was a big part of it, was that someone asked him, this is at the start of season 1, they said, why, or what do you think of the ranked ladder for season 1? And he turned around and said, well, I don't care. Why didn't he care? It's because he's been a pro gamer for like over a decade, I think, but he was like a pro gamer for Warcraft 3. And he said, well, I don't care about like some solo queue ladder. What I care about is winning tournaments. Like that is, for me, that is how I grade my self-esteem. I'm paraphrasing here, but it's like, you know, your self-esteem, your ego, your EP, and whatever you call it, you know, it's a big part in Hero League, and why you get mad is because it matters to you what your rank is. Well, he says he comes into it, he doesn't really care. He doesn't really care because it's like, I care about tournaments. I think he won the World Championships of Warcraft 3 twice. Could be wrong about that. I think it's something like that. So like, what does he care about just like a solo queue here at the Storm Ladder? Doesn't care that much, really. It's not a huge deal. Now, I'm sure it still is a little bit of a deal. I'm sure that, you know, there is still some ego invested. I think for everyone there still will be a little bit. But generally speaking, you know, that's the sort of situation where he's going into it and he doesn't really mind whether he, you know, wins or loses or whether he's higher on the ladder or lower. Because, like, he knows that he's, like, a top-level player. He knows he'll be fine. And that, sure, he might have a bad streak, a bad luck streak. You know, those coin flips of winning and losing might go badly for a while. He'll get a bad rank. He knows he'll get up there again, though. It's once you've removed the need to sort of like prove to yourself how good you are, then you'll be fine. It's like, I don't know. It's something I'm hoping. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna let you guys know how it goes. But I think like at the start of this season, particularly because like in season 1, it was the first time I really properly played Hero League, I would say. I did it in preseason to get to rank 1 and get the rewards, but like that was all I did. I didn't play. I think it was like 30 games. Didn't play past that. Season 1 was like where I kind of played properly, and it's like, okay, I want to prove to myself, like, okay, well, how high could I actually climb if I really tried? And once that's proved to myself, it's like I can come into next season 2 and say, well, that's where I expect to get. I don't have any reason to think I'll be any worse or better than that. That's what I'm aiming for, and I will get there eventually. So that will hopefully remove a lot of the frustration and stuff. Because sure, when I have frustrating games and I lose, I'm not going like, oh my god, like I'm in Diamond 2 right now, I'm never going to get higher because teammates keep throwing it. I go, yeah, they threw it, but I know I'm going to get to Master, maybe Grandmaster eventually. Not a big deal. It's just going to take some time. Just wait until those coin flips work out, so long as I keep playing well. Now, obviously, it's going to be very difficult for a lot of people, for most people, probably nearly everyone, to disassociate your kind of like that sort of ego from winning. It's like probably why you're playing Hero League anyway. Or another aspect for me, I know, is that like I want to play Hero League to get good quality games. And you don't always get those, and I know that I personally get very tilted when I get bad quality games. I'm like, I want good quality games. I want to play with some of the best players. I want to be challenged. I want to learn. That doesn't always happen because just population density, that there's far more people in the bit below me than there are people above me. So just in terms of like, can it make games with like people that are better? Can it make games with people that are worse? It's going to trend towards more so people that are worse than better, because just there's more people down there, and that's how it works. And that can be frustrating for me personally sometimes. That's something I'm trying to overcome. It's just like adjusting your expectations as well. But yeah, it's it's going to be very difficult to avoid being invested in ranked, because that's probably why you're playing ranked, is because you want to win, you want to get the good ranks, you want to push it a little bit, and so long as that is a goal that you have, you will get frustrated and you will get tilted, but try to remove it a little bit. One thing you can do is play with a friend, and then it's the enjoyment of playing with your friend also becomes an outcome, and you can like chat to them, and it's like you're not just playing Hero League to win then, or even any other mode. You're not just playing those modes purely to win, you're also playing them, even maybe mostly playing them, or only playing them even, to hang out with your friend, have a good time, chat about stuff, try out some hero combos. Like, let's see how Abathur Murky works, let's do it. And you don't really care if you win or you lose, you're gonna have fun because you're doing some really derpy combo. Try out Cho'Gall Oriole. We did a video on that last week, myself and Cliction and Roger, two of my friends, and we had a blast. And like, I think we won everything, but that didn't hugely matter, because it was just fun just being able to see all the ridiculous stuff you can do as like a triple Q and unranked draft with like Oriole and Cho'Gall, and just the stupid stuff you can do, because all the healing that she gets, because Cho'Gall generates like twice as much hope for her. It's hilarious. But it's like, yeah, just find other things that can make it fun playing with your friends. That's a great example. Yeah, I mean, apart from that, like, there's nothing hugely that springs, unfortunately, there's nothing hugely that springs to my mind that you would do in Hero League apart from that. Honestly, it's like, play it with friends and have fun, duo queue, have fun. And that's one of the main arguments I would have for keeping duo queue in. I know some people don't like the idea of duo queue because it skews the matchmaking, gives people advantages and stuff. But yeah, it'll be more fun, it's more consistent playing with a friend, because then you've got someone you can guarantee, not even guarantee that they're going to play well, but you know exactly how well they're going to play. It's like, you're not going to be surprised. You're not going in thinking like, oh, is this Greymane going to be amazing? Is he going to be terrible? You go in saying like, no, it's my friend, I know he's pretty damn good on Greymane, and you go in knowing how he's going to play, and that's how he plays, and it's great. And that expectation helps as well. But yeah, apart from playing with your friends in Hero League, honestly, I don't know what else you can do, very much so, to be a goal. Unless you just want to make it like, just play Hero League and not care too much about playing other modes. Just be like, yeah, I'm going to play Hero League and I don't really care. I'm going to treat it like quick match or unranked. If you can remove that feeling of it mattering and being important, then you're going to do great. Very difficult though, because you got all the wins and you've got what everyone thinks in ranked, and the rage that will come out because other people are invested in winning, and that's what matters, and that affects you as well. What do you do to deal with this tilt when it happens, with this frustration, with the pressure that's inherently there in caring about winning? Like I said at the very start of the video, the best thing you can do once you feel that tilt coming on, stop playing, turn off the computer, walk away, come back another day or later in the day, go out and do something physical, do some exercise, do anything except sit down and play more Heroes of the Storm. It's going to happen differently for different people. I would say as a rough guide, for most people, probably after losing 2 games and being unhappy about it. If you lose 2 games in a row, sit down and say, was I really happy about those? Because that happens sometimes. You lose 2 games and be like, all right, no, I was actually really happy. They were really fun games, had a really positive team, and it was a great experience, and I don't even care if I lost. If that was the case both times, then fine, keep playing. However, if you sit down and go, yeah, no, that was actually kind of annoying. I really thought we'd won that one, or we had a great draft and it went horribly wrong, or you're just frustrated, if that happens, at that point, you want to stop. Just stop playing. Walk away. Because that's when you start to get tilted. And severe tilt is when you get in the mindset. It's happened to me like a couple of times. You're like, I don't even care. I'm playing until I win a game. And you proceed to lose and lose and lose. Because what happens is, once you get tilted, once that frustration comes in, you start playing worse. And then if you're playing worse, like I said, it's going to change that coin flip. And suddenly, instead of being a 50-50 coin flip, it's going to be, if you're playing worse than you're expected to play, you're going to lower that win rate more and more and more. And then you're going to get more tilted because you're losing more. You're going to start blaming. You're going to get this super negative mindset where your ability to judge the game and your response to the game become really skewed. So you just want to avoid that if you can. And if you do think it's happening, you just need to know there's no way to cure it apart from walking away and time. That's it. Like, for example, like if I hop into this first game my first placement game, and I don't know, our first pick is insta-locks Gazlo. Am I gonna rage? Am I gonna tilt? I would say no now, because I kind of go like, I don't care. I'd be like, all right. I'll probably go into it saying, fair enough. Start of the new season. Obviously the MMO or whatever, it might be a bit all over the place in the placement games, whatever. Probably if we got some dude who's gonna first pick Gazlo, probably the enemy team isn't very good. All right, let's take advantage of that. What heroes can I play to take advantage of the fact that I'm probably going up against some weaker enemy teams? Or what can I do to combo well with this Gazlo? How can I support him to make, this Gazlo player play really well? And I'm going to think through it and pick something that works really well with what we've got and make the most out of it and maybe walk away with a win. Probably have a pretty good chance of winning, in fact. Now imagine, in contrast, that it was my final placement game. We've lost like 9 so far. We're 9 out of 10 matches. We've lost everything. Really pissed off, really angry. First pick Gasso comes in. That's like, you're just flipping the table. You're going nuts. You go, and you go like, I don't care. I'm not picking a support. I'm like picking Murky. I'm just gonna feed all game. You just get so angry that you just throw away your chances of winning at all. And that's what happens. So yeah, it really depends on your perspective. That's just an example of how your perspective can be skewed. But yeah, I think that's kind of like the core of tilting and where it comes from. It's being invested in winning. The fact that winning is for the most part out of your control. Try to get invested in other aspects of the game apart from winning if that's possible, such as playing with your friends or playing a different game mode just for fun, trying out a new hero, trying out some new tactic, new build, new combo or something. Make it like we're learning a new hero, learning a new build for a new hero. I don't really care if we win or lose because I just want to get good at this build. Whatever. So if you can do that, you're going to be great. For the most part, obviously in the Hero League, you're not going to be able to separate the reason for playing the game from winning. It's still going to be there, so you will get frustrated, you will tilt for most people. If that happens, what you need to do, once you recognize that it's happening, as soon as you've lost 2 games in a row, that's a really good guideline. You need to sit down and say to yourself, like, seriously, like, am I tilted? Could I be tilted? And if you feel that you are, you should probably step away and stop playing. If you lose another game after that, at that point, you really need to sit down and go, yeah, like I probably am going to tilt after this. So yeah, it's just step away. Play something else. Go play something else. Do something else. Have some fun. Come back to ranked another time. Because yeah, like the more you care about it, and then the more frustrated you get, the more you'll lose, then the more you'll care, then the more you lose. And it's this vicious cycle, and you're going to get really miserable and have a really tough time. So I think that is the best advice I can give on how to deal with tilt. If anyone else has any other tips, like any rituals you do or stuff you do, like, I don't know, like when you've lost a couple of games, you like jump into quick match and like just hit that random button and play something. Or do you go like, I'm just going to play Murky and we're just split push Murky all game long. I don't even care. Just going to have some fun in quick match and we'll see what happens. And then after, that's a way to relieve tension and be fine. I would say for most people though, it's probably walking away from the game is the best thing. But if you guys have any other tips, that'd be really helpful. Let us know in the comments below. Give a like if you found this helpful too. Bit of a different type of video, but I hope it was good and gave some good tips. But there you go, guys. That is how to avoid tilt, or if not, how to best cope with tilt when it does, for most of us, inevitably happen. Worth saying, like, I do get tilted as well. As anyone who watched the streams last season will know, definitely get tilted because I cared about winning. I wanted to prove to myself I could get a high rank. And yeah, it's like, maybe even accept that for the first season when you play. This can be another tip. For the first season, it's going to be pretty frustrating. Then when you kind of know roughly, like, okay, I'm gold 3 or platinum 4 or whatever it is, and say like, okay, that's where I got to. When I start off next season, probably going to end up somewhere like there. And if it goes worse, I know it's just a bit of bad luck. If it goes better, maybe it's good luck, or maybe I'm improving and I'm going to keep working on it and growing better and better. But yeah, maybe just accept that the first season of ranked is going to be a bit of a frustrating experience, but that each subsequent season should get a little less frustrating. Because so long as you're playing the game well and you're dedicated to improving, which you probably are if you've watched this entire video, you're probably pretty dedicated to improving, then you are going to probably slowly go up in ranks, or at least maintain where you are, so it's no big stress about playing ranked. Anyway, they're the sort of things I think about. Hope it helped. I will see you all next time for more Heroes of the Storm, and do check out the live streams. You can see if I'm actually putting this stuff into practice or getting frustrated. That'll be good fun. I'll see you all then, guys. Bye-bye. Oh my god, I pressed the large webcam instead of the... Oops. There we go. Goodbye.